Hi, everybody. I wanted to go over this work with you guys. I sent this home with Group A and Group B. With this video, if you want to watch this to go over your work, that's great. If you want to watch this video as a way of helping you out, I would encourage you to pause this every once in a while so you can try this out on your own. So you're not just watching me do it. I want you to practice as well. Okay, so let's go over these questions real quick. I'm going to get rid of that because I just like writing it myself. We have 8 and we are dividing that by 3. Okay, so I'm going to model my 3 ones right here. Actually, starting out with 8, so I need that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then what I'm doing is I'm dividing that into 3. So I'm going to give myself these 3 sections here, like we did in class with these happy faces. Nothing too specific with that, but it's this idea of sharing out until it cannot be shared anymore. Okay, so far what I've done, and I want to kind of model this over here, is I just did 3 times 1. I gave everybody 3, and I'm going to subtract that, right? Just like I subtract these 3 from here, and that means I have 5 left over. I have enough to keep going. So I'm going to go 1, and then another one here, and then another one here as well. So showing this work here, I just did another round of sharing. I gave 1 3 times, which means I got rid of another set of 3, and that leaves me with 2. So if I take a look at that, I only have those 2 left. I can't share those out. So that is my remainder. And my quotient is, I'm going to take a look at this. I gave away 1, and then I gave another 1 away each round. So that means I gave away 2 each time in that division. So my quotient is 2 with a remainder of 2. And I can check my work by doing this. I can say, all right, well, I'm going to do 3 times 2. I'm going to do the opposite of division, which is 6. But I had those 2 left over. So if I take that 6 and add those 2 back in, that brings me back to the original 8. 3 times 2, add those 2 back, the original 8. All right, let's look at this next one here. This is 38 divided by 3. So I'm going to model my 3 10s and then my 8 1s. Double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excellent. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to divide that by 3. So I'm just going to rewrite it because I just like doing that. 38 divided by 3. Okay, now I'm going to set up my 3 sections here for our modeling. I have 1, 2, 3. Okay, excellent. So now I'm going to start in my 10s. Always want to start in my 10s place. And I can take a look at that. And I have 3 10s, 30, and I have 3 that I can share with. So that's a pretty easy sharing where I can say everybody gets a 10. So what does that look like over here? Okay, what I just did is I said 3 times 10. I gave away 3 10s. So I think to myself, all right, well, 3 times 10, that's 30. I just divided out 30. So how much do I have left over? I have 8 left over. I have these 8 ones. So then with division, we think to ourselves, okay, can I keep going or should I stop? On this example here, I had to stop because I only had 2 left over and 3 to divide it with, but that wouldn't have worked out. It wouldn't have been even. But in this case here, I have 8 left over. That's I can keep going. So let's look at this part and then let's bring it over here to the model. So I'm going to say, thinking about 3, because I have 3 people here, imagining those as people. What times 3 would get me as close to 8 as possible without going over? Well, I can think about multiples and I can think, okay, well, 3, 6, 9. Okay, that doesn't work. So 1 group of 3, 2 groups of 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And then that means I'm going to have 2 left over. So what I can say is, instead of doing this 1 for you, I can say, all right, I can go 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. Okay, so what is that showing me? That's showing me 3 groups of 2. I gave away 6. That leaves 2 left over. I have to stop. That's my remainder. Okay, so how do I figure out what my quotient is? Well, let's look at one row. I have a 10 and 2 1s. That is 12 with a remainder of 2. Another way to look at that is over here. I gave away 10, and then I gave away 2 more. If I bring those together, that is 12, but there's 2 left over. So I can check my work. Let's do this. So if I said 12 remainder of 2, let's take 12 and let's multiply that by 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 10 is 30. That gives me 36. But I had those 2 left over, so I'm going to take those 36, add 2. That brings me back to the original 38. Okay? Let's look at the next question. So those were questions 3 and 4. I'm going to go to the next page. I'm going to take a look at this one. All right? I don't want to start out with this one. Get rid of that. I'm going to say 6 divided by 4. Let's do this part first, and then let's take a look at it as the model. All right, so since I'm multiplying by 4 and thinking about 4 here, that's our number that's doing the dividing. I want to think to myself, okay, well, what times 4 gets me close to 6? So let's think about multiples of 4. We can go 4, 8, 12. Well, we can just stop there because we've already gone over. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. The closest I can get is 4 times 1. So if I do 4 times 1, that's 4. And if I want to see how many are left over, I'm going to have 2 left over. So let's see what that looks like. So let's do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Okay. And let's just set up our rows like we've done before. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We don't always have to do happy faces. Like I said in class, I just made that up. So what this is telling me is that if I give every group 1, I'm only going to have 2 left over. And I gave away 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Look, everything, every section, every person, however you want to think about it, gets 1, and there are 2 left over. So our quotient is 1 with a remainder of 2. And how can we check that? We can do 4 times 1, which is 4. We had 2 left over, add those back in, and that gives us our original 6. Okay, all right, let's go on to the next one here. Get rid of this guy, rewrite it myself, 86, and we are dividing by 4. Okay, 86, that's a pretty big number. We don't want to get into this business of saying, okay, 1 for you, 1 for you. We want to give out big chunks of this number. We want to divide that out pretty quick. Since we're working with 4, let's think to ourselves, what times 4 can get us as close to 86 as possible? Or looking at that tens place with our model here, for example, think about it as 80. Okay? And get that 6 in there. So what times 4 is going to get us as close to 80 as possible? So if we think 4 times 20, 4 times 20 equals 80. So what is that telling me? That's telling me that I can put these tens in groups of 2 like that. I'm just kind of doing it kind of fast here, right? Let me pull that up so you guys can see more of the paper. So right away, I'm giving away 20. Everybody gets 20 right away. Done. Well, what does that leave me with? That leaves me with 6. I have 6 1s left over. That wouldn't be fair. Let's say if this is like candy, if I had 4 kids sitting there and I'm like, sorry, kids, I don't have any more candy to give you when I've got 6 pieces there. Now, to be fair, they've already gotten 20, but we want to give it all away, right? So I can't say, yeah, I'm done when I'm not. So now I think to myself, okay, what times 4 get us closest to 6 as possible? Well, and this is where in math, if you remember the problem that you've done before, it could help you out with the problem later on. And we said that 4 times 1 is as close as we can get, which means I'm going to give away 4, and I'm going to end up with 2. So let's see what that looks like. So 1 here, One there, one here, one here, one here. Well, look at that, right? I gave away one to everybody. That is 1 4 times. I got rid of 4. That leaves me with 2 left over. So what's our quotient? Look here. I gave away 20, and then I gave away 1. So that means I gave away a total of 21. And there are 2 left over. That is our remainder of 2. 21 with a remainder of 2. I hope that helped. If you need any help, you can always hop onto one of my chats, send me a message. I can help you out that way. And I will either see you guys on Monday and Tuesday, or I will see you on Thursdays and Fridays. Bye, guys.